Oh, I see a little clock.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my live. What day is it? It's December 5th, I think. Is it? Or is it 6th? Oh, it's December 6th. Okay. So, welcome to tonight's live. It's been a little while. I got a video up this morning, too. So, this is a big day for Going Coconuts. I've done a video and now doing a live. So, that's pretty sweet. And my video today was about the Catalonia Bavaro Beach Golf and Casino Resort. Now it was a food tour, so I showed all the a la cartes, the snack stations, the drink stations. So that was kind of a video I had there for a while, and finally got it put together. So I've been pretty busy, but things are starting to slow down for me now. So I'm excited to get this travel season kind of get going here sooner. It could happen sooner than later for me, but it's going to happen soon enough anyway. So we'll be heading down to the DR at some point here soon. And I'm excited for the new season and making some new videos. So welcome everybody to this live stream. I have some things here I'm going to talk about, and then I'm also going to answer some questions. If anybody's got anything they want me to answer, I'm going to do that. So Brad says, bet you're looking forward to getting down there. Yep, I sure am. It's going to be good. So, this time of year, we kind of start getting excited about heading down there. So it's going to be good. Couldn't come soon enough. But okay, so I guess I was going to talk a bit about Travel Tuesday because Black Friday is Black Friday week. And then you also have Cyber Monday. But I actually never was aware of Travel Tuesday till this year. So I thought that was interesting. Now, I didn't really find any deals with any of the travel providers from Black Friday to Travel Tuesday. I kind of felt like they were all the same. So there was nothing really there that stood out to me as like huge savings for Travel Tuesday. But there were some deals, and I still think there are still a few deals sticking around. I noticed in November, I was watching two resorts, and I'd say like the second or third week in November, they jumped up and then they haven't went back down again. So, but everything seems to be like sitting pretty consistent for right now. So, but yeah, Travel Tuesday, that's new to me. So, but I guess I just noticed it this year with social media, and I was getting the ads from Air Canada, Air Transat. And even Sunwing was doing some ads for that as well. So, but yeah, I didn't find too many huge deals for Travel Tuesday. But did anybody else get any deals on Travel Tuesday, or are we all booked up? Is there any? I know I've been talking to some people, and they're still waiting for deals. So it's a risk you take, right? You might get a deal, you might not. So we'll see what happens. Okay. So what else are we going to talk about here? Travel insurance. So travel insurance, I guess some people get travel insurance and some people don't get travel insurance. We get travel insurance every year we go. I think it's important to get travel insurance just to be sure in case something goes wrong. And then as well, we also write on, you get like little paper cards, and we write on those and keep them in our backpack and whatnot. But yeah, I think travel insurance is important. It protects you if anything goes wrong. What does this say? So what's Brad saying here?
Oh, just about food safety. I just let them know to stay tuned.
So I know we chatted, and you were going to chat on it, keeping safe in regards to food, water, ice cubes, etc. So booked long time ago, and price has gone up since. So there, that's good. So you booked a while ago, and prices are going up. So yeah, especially where you're going to Dreams. Excuse me. But yeah, I think booking Dreams early is pretty good. I've been watching Dreams too recently. Excuse me. I found the prices went down a little bit on Travel Tuesday, Black Friday-ish. And I'm seeing it right now like $700 a night. And I haven't seen it really spike since then. So I don't know. I'm just kind of waiting for those prices to start spiking, but definitely February is about $200 more than say March. So, but yeah, I've been watching Dreams as well too, and the La Romana. I still call it the Hilton, but it's the Dreams La Romana. So, we were going to. Sorry, I'm just reading here.
Food safety.
I know we chat. Okay, so food safety. So yeah, let's talk about food safety. Braz, you had mentioned me or messaged me and mentioned that about food safety. And I did make a video about this last year while we were down there. I did like a beach walk, and I recorded a whole video on it, and then I never did upload it. But yeah, I think it's a good thing to be aware of. I think I'll probably make a video about that this year too, just because I think it is important. But I think when it comes to food safety, we're just very diligent on the food that we eat. So whether we're at Dreams or so I won't really say names. How about that? But I'll say whether we're at a 5-star resort or whether we're at a 3-star resort, we just always check our food. So like the chicken, especially, we were at one resort last winter, and they were having a barbecue on the beach, and they brought the chicken out in these big totes, like plastic totes you keep your Christmas decorations in, and they had it full of chicken, and it was like there was water in it, and there was all this chicken, and they were literally, it was just on the ground, and they were just pulling the chicken out from this tote and throwing it on the barbecue. Now, I guess there's maybe nothing wrong with that if it was the right temperature for a long time, but I look at a situation like that, and I don't know if that tote's been hanging out somewhere in a back room all day or whatever. So, and then when we actually did take food from the barbecue, and I always look at the food like before River eats it. Either me and Lauren will check the chicken or whatever she's going to eat, and it just didn't look right. Excuse me, sorry. So we didn't eat that. We just said, okay, we're not going to chance it. So I think when it comes to food safety, just basically, I think you're your best protection, your common sense, and just being diligent and just checking everything. You just never know. A 5-star or a 3-star, I don't think it matters what resort you're staying at. It's a possibility kind of anywhere. So I think that's probably the first thing we do always, is we just always keep an eye on what's in front of us and what we're about to eat. That's number one. I don't go near the salads. I think Lauren, you stay away from the salads too.
Yeah, I would like to have salads.
Yeah.
But our travel doctor kind of said.
Yeah. So Lauren doesn't eat salads either. Our travel doctor told us just not to eat salads. Just stay away from lettuce. Just because of the water. So they have to wash the lettuce, and you can get sick that way. So there was something she told us too, and I was talking to Lauren about it today. I was like, I wish we could remember, but she basically has this rule, and it's like, if you either have to peel, like if you can peel the food, it's okay to eat it, but anything that's not peeled and something that has to be washed, like don't eat those. She had some catchy little phrasing that went with it. So like things like bananas, right? I love bananas. Like I'll walk through town, through the village, and I'll just, excuse me, sorry. I had a sparkling water. And then I'll just pick up bananas. Like I'll walk by the Calmados. Is that how they're pronounced? Calmados? I don't know. I've been out of the DR too long. But they just have bananas hanging on sticks. So I just go by and I always pick up bananas. They're like 10 pesos a piece. That stuff's, good.
We peel Rivers apples.
And we peel Rivers apples. So, anything like that, you want to peel it. Anything that's at the buffet or that's been washed or has to be washed is probably something, you're going to want to avoid. So we don't do salads. If we're going to do a salad, we'll do it. We'll buy it from the grocery store and we'll wash it ourselves. Another thing we do too, this isn't really going to affect most people that are staying at resorts, but when we cook down in the DR. Like we get bottled water, and we actually buy it from this young kid. He has a motorbike, and he drives right to the condo, and he actually brings the 5-gallon water jug right to the door, and it's 100 pesos for a bottle of water. So, but we use water, and that water we use for cooking rice, noodles. So we don't use tap water for cooking anything like that. And same with brushing our teeth. We don't use the tap water. We take the water from the jug. If we're at a resort, we're going to take the water from a water bottle. We're going to put it into the glass. We're going to take our toothbrush, wet our toothbrush first, then apply the toothpaste, brush our teeth, and then we're going to rinse our mouth. And then after we rinse our mouth, the water that's left, we're going to rinse out our toothbrush. So we don't put our toothbrushes under the sink. Same with like when we're showering or something, we're just always careful, like don't get the water in your mouth. You know, sometimes that happens when you shower, and then I just like spit it out quickly. But yeah, so that's the water thing. But when you're when you're at an all-inclusive resort and you're getting water and they're coming around and pouring water, that's generally always going to be okay. And with the ice cubes, yeah. So another thing our travel doctor educated us on years ago was ice cubes with holes in them are the safest ice cubes to consume. So if you have ice cubes and they're square, there's more of a chance of that being bad water for whatever reason. I don't know.
Maybe because they're in the trays or something.
Maybe because they're in the trays,
or the circle is where you buy the bags, right?
Yeah, or maybe it's just like because it comes from commercial manufacturer or something. I'm not too sure. But ice cubes that have a little hole in them are like the safest ice cubes to consume.
Dreams cubes are okay.
Dreams cubes are okay. Yeah, Dreams cubes are going to be okay. And the water that Dreams is going to come around and put in your glass at dinner and a la carte's totally fine there. Just to clarify for Braz here, the story I was talking to about the barbecue was not at Dreams. So they did have a barbecue there. And it's kind of strange because the way they barbecue in the DR, it's a little different, right? Like they're just they're more accustomed to meat, I think, sitting out longer than we are, just because I guess like refrigeration there is hard to come by. It costs a lot of money. It takes a lot of energy. And that's just something that they lack in the DR, of course. It's a small island. So I think they're just, to them, it's not as big of a deal leaving food out like that. So, you know, sometimes when you see barbecues like that, I get a little bit like, oh, I don't know, but
especially with the totes.
Yeah, the totes, like the way that the one barbecue I was talking about earlier, I mean, that was just, and I wasn't the only one either. That like there was people that kind of came, saw what was going on, and just kind of kept walking by. Like, no, we're not gonna try that. But I did want to like take it off the grill and actually just look at it and see. But yeah, Dreams, you're gonna be okay. The water's gonna be okay there. They barbecued at Dreams while we were there as well too. They had some drinks out.
Frozen drinks are good too. Blended are okay too.
Blended drinks are okay. Yeah, the blended's okay because they're using good ice cubes. So you're not going to really get an issue there. The resorts are always going to have good ice cubes, and good water. The resorts are not going to be using bad ice and bad water. That's one thing you can be sure about. Where you want to be more careful about that is if you go off resort and you buy something from somebody, a small restaurant or a small guy. We were driving through we weren't driving. We were walking through Bayahibe, and this kid came up and he had like one of those pedal ice cream trucks, and he's like, "Hey, you guys want a cold drink?" And I like supporting these people, right? So he was like a young kid pushing this cart around. I was like, "Yeah, sure, yeah, let's see what you got." And then he opened it up, and he had like water bottles without the paper labels on them anymore, so you could tell they were reused water bottles. and he had like some kind of like, I think it was like a mango juice or something in there, but it was like, and it was cold. He had it like refrigerated, but he brought up these bottles and started giving us these bottles. And I could tell that he's reused the bottles from somewhere. And I don't know what is in the bottles. And like there's a lot of warning signs there. Right. So, and I mean, that's common sense, right? I mean, I don't think I have to share that advice for people to understand they probably shouldn't drink it, but that stuff happens though, right? You'll see people like that, and that's the stuff you want to avoid, of course. Okay, Braz said something else here too. Well, speaking on food and barbecue, can you touch on the island trips, Catalina, Sayona Island, and food specific? Okay, so the food at Catalina and Sayona, again, this goes back to your service providers. So that's why I would strongly suggest going with Scuba Carib.
They're on the beach of dreams.
They're right at your resort. So you go with those guys. They do a better job, and it matches the resort you're staying at. You don't want to buy an excursion from somebody like on the beach, or maybe at the front, even at a kiosk within the resort. I wouldn't even purchase it, because you're not guaranteed what boat or where you're going to end up in. With Scuba Carib, they have a designated beach that they go to every time. So that's what I like about them. They're the largest outfit in the Caribbean. So
their food was better too.
Yes. And that's where I was going to go with that, is that Scuba Carib has better food. Definitely better food than the cheapy excursion. So stick with Scuba Carib. Now, the food you're going to get on Sayona Island, I can actually give you a little insider secret information here on where this food comes from. So when you're taking the bus in from Punta Cana, you're going to go down the highway, and then you're going to take the off ramp, and you're going to get off the main highway, and you're going to know it. Then you're going to get into a smaller road, and you're going to go up and down. So you're going to know this is the main road into Bayahibe and Dominicus. There's only one road in to Dominicus Beach, and that's where you're staying. Now, as you go through there, you'll probably never notice this, but you're going to pass it when you're on the bus. And there's this large blue building, and it'll be on your right-hand side when you're going in. And it looks like it's a big blue concrete building. It doesn't look like anything, but that's where all the food is made for Sayona Island and for Catalina Island. Okay, I'm not sure about Catalina, but Sayona for sure. So it's basically like a wholesale place there. They cook all this food, and then it all gets packaged, and then all the boat operators go there every morning. So if you go by there at say 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning, there'll be piles of people there picking up the food to get onto their boat and take it over to Sayona Island. Excuse me. So that's where the food's made. Now, with Scuba Carib's beach, I'm not 100% sure that they use that same system, because I feel like when we were at Scuba Carib's beach on Sayona Island, it felt like they had a kitchen there on site. And I saw stuff kind of going in and out. So I was kind of like, oh, maybe they're making their own food here. So, but if you go on the cheapy Sayona, that's what's happening. So you're going to get chicken and pork and rice, all these dishes. It's made early morning, and then it's taken out in these like metal trays, and they literally put it in like those milk crate boxes on the back of their motorcycles. They throw it in, they pile it in, strap it down, and then they're running back into Bayahibe to get this food on the boats. And then they're running this food to Sayona Island before you arrive. How they keep it warm at Sayona Island, I'm not sure yet, because the food is actually like warm when it comes out, like when you go through the buffet line. So there you go. And the reason I know all that is from our driver, Renee. And we went by early morning one day. I was like, what's going on there? And he told me, he's like, that's where they make all the food for Sayona. That's where all the Sayona Island food comes from. So, and Renee, he's a solid source for sure. So that's where the food comes from. So you've got a little information there on that. Now with Scuba Carib, like I said, I'm not sure if they purchased their food from the same place, but they may be making it there. I can't verify that. I just know that Renee told me that that's where the majority. So I'm going to assume like the cheapy excursions. That's where the food's. That's how they're doing it, because there's no facilities there. When you go to the beach, there's no facilities there for them to make these lunches. But yeah, so you're going to get. So now back to your menu there. You're going to get a chicken, a pork, and a rice. They'll do a pasta. Then they'll do like some vegetables. It might be like a broccoli or something. And then you'll have like fruit, pineapple and something.
You can upgrade a lobster, can't you?
And you can buy a lobster while you're there too. I think it's like $25 US for lobster. So you can do that as well. With Scuba Carib though, the beach you go to, they also, when you go to the Cheapy Island, it's like they're like 1 o'clock. You got to get your food. Like they put it out and the lineup starts, and then you have to get in line and get it. If you're not there, if you're down the beach taking pictures or you're swimming and jump through waves, and the food goes through, well, you missed the food. That's it, right? It's here and gone. With Scuba Carib, it's completely different. It's like they start putting the food out, and then it's more covered. There's just better picnic tables. The beach is a lot deeper as well too. There's more palm trees, and they like just kind of leave the food out, so you can kind of go in, have something to eat. It's not like, okay, food's right now, come get it now, or you're going to miss it. It's not like that. So you have more time to eat. It doesn't feel as rushed and like, okay, you need to eat right now, if you want lunch. So I think Scuba Carib, I would stick with them. They do it the best. We've done the Cheapy and Scuba Carib, and hands down, they do it the best. Your other option is either Scuba Carib or Viva. So Viva, Windham, I know, oddly enough, well, I guess I shouldn't say oddly enough, but yes, Viva and Scuba Carib have the same part of the beach, and it's their exclusive part of the beach. So I would like to do Viva's Sayona Island this year, because you can actually buy their excursion without staying at the resort. In the town of Dominicus, right beside the entrance of Viva, it's called Viva Excursions. So I'm just interested to see where they go to. I don't know yet, but I think that their operation might even be a little bit smoother, because they have kind of one large catamaran that goes from, I think, the beach right into Sayona. I'm not sure yet, but I think this year I want to try the Viva excursion and just see how smooth that is. But the only thing with Scuba Carib is you're going to have to hop between a boat somewhere along the way from getting picked up, because they're going to pick you up at Dreams, and then you're going to go to Dreams La Romana, which used to be the Hilton. So they're going to pick you up at Dreams. They'll pick Sunscape up first, then they'll get you at Dreams, and then they'll go to La Romana, pick everybody up there, and then they're going to go to Sayona Island. So there's just a little bit of a jog there with Scuba Carib, because they have to get everybody. And what happens is the catamaran, it can't get close to the beaches. So what you'll do is you'll have like an 18-foot fiberglass boat parked right on the beach, and you'll just get right into that little boat. It just has benches, and then that boat will take you out to the catamaran. So you're going to be starting at Dreams, and it's going to take you out to the large catamaran. Then you're going to have to hop onto the catamaran. The catamarans then is going to go to La Romana, and I believe the catamaran goes right to the beach at La Romana at the Hilton. I believe it can go right to the beach. I don't think they need a small boat to get them there. I think they can go right to the beach there, pick them up, and then you're going to go to Sayona Island. When you get to Sayona Island, the catamaran, again, can't go to the beach. So it's going to stop there, and then you're going to get on another one of those small boats again, and then they're going to take you into shore, and then you kind of have a walk through the jungle through Sayona Island, which I actually really enjoyed that part of it. It's actually a really cool experience. When we were there was like this old like beach kind of building, but it was like 3 stories high, and it's like the old weathered boards. And then there was a guy, like they was doing some work, and he had the donkey with the trailer that just kind of went by. So it was kind of a cool experience. And then you're going to walk around. And then when you walk through the jungle, there's kind of a point, and they park on this side of the point. And I think the reason why they do that is so that there's no boats on the beach. So Scuba Carib, there's no boats. Like when you look out on the water, there's no boats there. Excuse me. And so I think the rule is like all the boats got to stay over here, so that when you're taking your pictures or you're relaxing on the beach, there's not a bunch of boats there. When you go to the Cheapy Sayon Island, there's boats everywhere, and Dominicans love revving up their boats. So there's like all day long, you'll just hear motors, right? Like they'll tilt them up and spray water everywhere, and that's just what they do, right? They're just always having fun. So it's just a kind of more of a chaotic beach. So when you walk through the island, Scuba Carib, you're going to go this way, and then the other way, you're going to see a sign that says Viva Beach. So they're connected, and they're right beside each other. Viva Windham and Scuba Carib, they're right beside each other. So, and it's the best part of the beach I've seen by far, is where they go.
So Braz is asking if we still like Catalina out of the two. So you still saying Cat is the better of the two?
Yeah. So
the food was the same at Sayona and Catalina.
Yeah. So we like Catalina better because of the snorkeling. Like that's the biggest thing. Sayona's nice too. You do get like beautiful photos there, and it is a nice beach. Like, when you go to Sayona, it is a nice beach. I think, you have a nice beach at Dreams too. Like you have a really nice beach there. It's different though, because there's a lot more palms at the beach at Sayona. So it is different. It is nice. If I was going to pick one though, like, I don't know, it's tough. It just depends what you want. But if you're like the more adventurer type and you want to do some snorkeling, it's a really impressive reef at Catalina. And that's what we love about it, because when you go to Catalina Island, it's actually a dive excursion as well. So you'll have divers that go off the boat at Catalina at the reef, and the divers go first. And then that's what you're doing. You're snorkeling while the dive happens, which is about 45 minutes to an hour. But the snorkeling is really, really cool at Catalina. It's the best snorkeling you'll see in the DR is at Catalina or Penon. I've said that before too, but yeah. And then the food's really good there. You get a nice part of the island. Again, go with Scuba Carib for sure. If you're going to Catalina Island, go with Scuba Carib 100%. Nobody else, because they're the only service provider that goes to the best part of the island. Everyone else goes to, and you'll go by it. If you end up going to Catalina, when you snorkel, you're going to snorkel here and you're going to go all the way around the island. And when you go around, you're going to see the beach you would have went to if you didn't go with Scuba Carib. And it's just it's a bummer. It's just, then you get to Catalina Island, and I mean, it's beautiful. I believe, like, when you go to Scuba Carib's beach at Catalina Island, I think the water is actually calmer and like clearer at Catalina Island. It's not as amazing of a beach.
White sand.
Yeah, it's not like this picture perfect beach, Caribbean beach that you're used to. But it's still like the water is super calm there. And you know what? We've been there 2 times now to Catalina Island, and both times we've went with Scuba Carib. We didn't go with anyone else. But the beach sand is so hot at Catalina. I cannot believe nowhere in the DR have I ever felt so hot beach sand. And I don't know what it is. Maybe there's something in the sand there that makes it so hot, but it's like, it's unbearable to.
Sand is more gold in there too, a little.
Yeah, it's a little different, I think. Yeah.
But it's so hot.
It's so hot. I can't believe how hot it is. Like, I remember having my shoes off and having to run to my chair, and I was like running, and I was like, whoa, 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 like trying to get to a shadow, and then standing with my feet and being like I couldn't believe how hot it was. So make sure that you have shoes there, because it's just hot sand. I don't know why that is. If anyone else has been to Catalina Island and you're watching this live,
you'll know.
and you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's not like a little bit of heat. It's like super piping hot. I guess unless you go there on a cloudy day. It's really nice. So, and there's another there's a wall there. There's a nice little snorkel spot there too. It's not as good as the other side, but there's something there. It gets pretty deep too. Like when you go along the wall, it gets pretty deep. Like there's kind of like a floating dock out there. So a lot of people will snorkel out to the floating dock. And there's some catamarans that come in and they only go as far as the floating dock. I don't know what's happening there, but then they can kind of swim around a little bit. But when you get up to that floating dock, it's like, I don't know, it's like probably 20, 30 feet or something. Like it's enough. It's like, I'll have Rivy on my back and I'm thinking like, okay, this is time to turn around. This is getting kind of deep. But you'll also find in that spot where Scuba Carib goes to at Catalina Island is also where all the catamarans from Casa de Campo come. So all the private charters, they come right into there and they get right close to the beach there as well. So if I had to pick between two, that's the thing. Salmon Island, you're gonna chill on the beach. You're gonna stand there. You're gonna look around and say, "Wow, this is a beautiful beach." You're gonna get photos with the family. There's lots of people there to take pictures for you of you and your family. It's nice for that. You can chill out on the beach chair. It's like unlimited rum. So you have lots to drink. I think they do cervezas there too. I think they do beer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can get some beers there but basically like rum and Cokes. And it's nice for that. Like you're going there, you're chilling out, you're seeing the beach. You're not there very long. Excuse me. Right. Like you're only there for, I don't know, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, probably 3 hours tops. And then you're back on the boat and off you go. You stop at the natural pools too. So there's that little bit part of it too. You go into the natural pool. It's really shallow water. It's really nice. I mean, that's kind of cool too. There's a good chance you're going to see starfish there, but not always you're going to find starfish there.
You just swim out far. Yeah.
So what my advice is, if you want to see a starfish there, is when you're going to the natural pools, as soon as you start rolling in, like this is what I did last time. And we got, we were with 2 starfish. I saw them on the way in. Is just start looking out on the catamaran, like looking out at the sides, and you'll see them as you go in. And then you can kind of just, when they let you out, then I was like, okay, I remember they're right back there. We hopped out, we swam over, and sure enough, there was 2. There was like 2 close to each other, and we got pictures with the starfish. And then while we're talking about starfish, it's just good to remember too, to don't take them out of the water, leave them under the water, and don't touch the underside of them. So you just kind of grab the top if you want to get a picture, and you just kind of hold them here. The water's up here. So you never take them out of the water. And then just kind of hold them there so you can tell that it's a starfish in the picture, but you just don't ever pull them out of the water because that'll kill the starfish, and we don't want to do that. But yes, there's a possibility you're going to see a starfish there.
Braz wants to know, his father doesn't swim. Father-in-law doesn't swim, so he won't be snorkeling. Will he be bored at the Catalina?
So will he be bored at the Catalina? When your father-in-law doesn't swim, will he be bored? So when you first go to do the snorkel part of it, you can hang out on the boat. And a lot of people choose to do that. Yeah. So we went with friends 2 years ago, and she stayed on the boat. She didn't go in the water. So you have that option, and they have drinks there for you. Scuba Carib's great. And you can you're just out there on the water. You can look around, and it's not a super long time. Like I said, you're there like 45 minutes to an hour. When I'm snorkeling, like I wish it was longer. Just because it's so short when you're in there enjoying it. So I don't think it'd be like super long for your father-in-law. And then when you go over to the other side, to the beach, where I was saying you can snorkel there too, like, I mean, there's so much to do there too, like hang out. There's a bar there with music going. They've got shops there in the back. You can go walk through. it's actually a national park too. You can go up on the hill. They have washrooms up there. And that's the other nice thing about that part of Catalina is they have better washrooms. But you can go up on the hill and there's a trail that follows that big wall, and you can walk around, look at things. So I don't think there's anything that would be boring on the second part of it. It's just the initial, the snorkel part. It would be like, it might be a little boring just because, he's not in the water snorkeling. But yeah, I don't think it just all comes down to like, what you're going to want to do and what you're looking for. If you want a little bit more adventure, I think Catalina is good because you can do the snorkel part of it. Also on the way back too, the nice thing about Catalina is they'll take you up the Chavon River. So you'll drive, you won't drive, you'll go, you'll boat past Casa de Campo. So you'll see all the nice villas along the sea there, the Caribbean seaside. You'll see Shakira's house. You'll also see Oscar de la Rente's estate. You'll also see the beach of Casa de Campo. And then you're going to go up the Chavon River, and that's where there was a bunch of movies filmed. You're going to go up, and then you're going to be able to see, a piece of Altos de Chavon up on the top of the escarpment there. And then they'll turn around and they'll go back down the river again, and then you'll go back to your resort. So there's that part of it too. You get a little sightseeing of Casa de Campo and the Chavon River with that excursion as well. So there's that in it too. That might not be too exciting, but it's kind of it's just like a little boat cruise. You're hanging out, and then the water's generally a little bit choppier on the way back, but I find that, I don't know what your father-in-law is like with in boats, but the Sayona Island can be a little bit rougher, like with the speedboat, and sometimes with the catamarans. Well, you're going to be going, if you go to Sayona, you're going to be going scuba carib anyways, so you're fine. The catamarans are great. They go to scuba carib to Sayona. Okay, is there another question there?
No, he was just saying that he would stop with his questions. I said no. I'm like, it's great.
Yeah, no, questions are good. You're asking all the questions.
I told him that his father-in-law won't be bored, and the guys at the shops at Catalina will probably keep him company.
Oh yeah. The guys at the shops will love to take care of your father-in-law for you while you're out. If you guys want to go for a little snorkel at Catalina, don't worry. It's kind of funny how it works at Catalina Island. You'll arrive, and then you'll just barely get off the dock, and then the guys from the shops will come over, and they'll have free necklaces, and they'll come to you and they'll say, here's a free necklace. They'll put it on you. And then you're like, oh, thank you very much. And like, I'm at shop 17. Come see me at shop 17. Okay. Let me go. Come see me at shop 17. Okay. And then what happens is then you go over to the shops, and then you're not allowed to look at anyone else's shops because number 17 came to you. And they basically, what the necklace is, it's not a free necklace. It's basically them saying, okay, now you belong to me. You have to buy from me now. You're not allowed to look at anyone else's shops. You got to buy from me. I gave you the necklace, right? So that's how they think. They're just high pressure sales, right? They need to capitalize on any tourist that's going to buy anything. So that's what happens. So the first time we went, I took the necklace, and then I was looking on the shop, and Buddy comes to me. He's like, no, you can't go in there. And they're serious. They're like, no, come here. Like serious to a point, right? And I'm like, no. I'm looking through all the shops. I'll come see you again. I know you gave me the necklace. I'll come see you here in a bit, but I want to see what this guy has too, right? No. So anyways, I finally go over and look. I didn't end up buying anything that day. I think actually maybe I bought cigars for Lauren's father, maybe, or was that Sayona? That was Sayona. Anyways, I don't think I bought anything there that day. So then the next time we go back and to Catalina, and it was only like 3 weeks later or maybe a month later, and
he remembered. We
go back in, and I walk off the dock, and this guy walks up to me, comes up to me right away, and does the whole sales pitch thing again, right? And he has a necklace, and he takes it, and he's like puts it on my neck again, like, oh, maybe here you go, Emil, come see me in shop whatever 18, whatever, blah 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 blah. And he's giving me the whole sales pitch thing, and then the other guys are looking at me and they're like, no, this guy, we know this guy, right? And they're like, what? This guy was here like a month ago and now he's back, right? Because you know, most gringos are only there for, you know, your week or two. And they're like, what, this guy? So he's giving me this whole sales pitch, and I'm like, I'm just totally talking to this guy, whatever. And I'm like, I already know what's going on here. I'm like, I'm not buying anything anyways. And then he goes back to his buddies and they all start laughing and they're talking in Spanish. And the guy looks at me, he's like, oh, no way. Like, you know, he wasted his time on me, like trying to get me to come to a shop when there's other tourists passing him, you know, like he should have went to somebody else.
But there's a reason why we don't buy them.
Yeah.
At Catalina. Like, it's a lot more expensive at that.
Yeah, and it's a lot more expensive. Like, Catalina Island is where a lot of the cruise ships go to, and Scuba Carib, right? So yeah, the souvenirs there are going to be pricier. I mean, they're pricier everywhere, but when you're staying at Dreams, you can go next door, and the same souvenirs that you're going to see at Catalina Island are right beside you in the shops as well. But yeah, it's just kind of like a game they play. They claim you and say, you know, you got to come buy my stuff. But yeah, it was kind of a funny moment because all the guys were just dying laughing. They're like, this guy was just here. This guy was just here like a month ago. He's back. This guy's been around here for a while. So, but yeah, I should show you the amount of necklaces I have. These necklaces that they gave you in my dresser, I have them, and I've got to have at least 30 of these necklaces, like just piles of them, from them just constantly putting them on my neck. Be like, hey, you know, because they'll do it at the resorts. You know, it's just kind of funny. You know, it's like, you know, when you roll into the Dominican Republic, there's like, everyone's got the same thing, and you know where everyone's come from by what they're wearing. Like when you come back from Sayon Island, you'll see all the tourists with like the Dominican bandanas on, and they sell them for like $5 on the catamaran. So like you'll be walking by eBay and you'll just see like a group of people with the bandanas on. You're like, oh, you're at Sayon Island. And then like the necklaces, everywhere you go, they're just constantly throwing the necklaces on you. So I just collect them every year. I come back to see like how many necklaces I'll get, and I'll just come back and I'll just have a pile of them. But yeah, it's fun.
So Braz is saying he's a super planner. He's on a couple groups from Dreams, and there's noise around people getting sick. Now I understand it's Facebook, so it could be anything seasonal. Yeah, so you're hearing lots of people getting sick at Dreams. Yeah, like that happened last year. That happened last year too. Sunscape. At Sunscape, there was all this like talk about people are getting sick at Sunscape and what's going on. Is it a flu or whatever? But yeah, I don't know. Like, I just wouldn't look into the reviews too much. I mean, there can be, I just don't think, especially at Dreams, I don't see them doing something wrong day after day after day after day where people are getting sick all the time. You know, I just don't see that happening. I think it's just people. I think it's just like flu coming in. Yeah, and just like a social contagion that begins where one person says this and people just want to hop on the bandwagon and just keep it going. But at Dreams, like I would still check my food at Dreams. Like if I, you know, like, and I'm not saying like dig through it or whatever, but if I eat like when I was at like, so if I'm at an a la carte and I'm getting a chicken, you know, I'm going to cut my chicken and I'll just always look at it. Right. I just always look, you know, there's no blood on the plate or, you know, it looks like cooked chicken. It's not raw. I mean, I even do that here in Canada too. I just always check more, especially there, just because if something goes wrong, right, it's just amplified because fixing the problem. But at Dreams, like people getting sick from them doing something wrong, I just don't, I would be surprised. I could see someone got sick and then for some other reason, but I just don't see them doing something wrong all the time. Food wise. Excuse me. No, I just don't see that. But yeah, super planner. I'm a super planner too. It's a good way to be. But yeah, I don't think so. Back to like the food thing. If there's anything else, I made some notes here actually to talk about food safety. So I said like careful of salads, careful of chicken.
I'm always very careful with chicken. Like even like chicken fingers and stuff. I remember chatting, and I think your girls are older, so they're probably not having chicken fingers for dinner. But like stuff like that, I'll still just cut it and check it. Just be careful. We also
Sushi, like I stay away from
sushi, that sort of stuff.
They have ceviche and stuff.
Ceviche,
Dreams, and I stay away from that.
It's funny because ceviche, I've never even heard about ceviche until like this past winter, and then now I hear it so often. Like I didn't even know what ceviche was. A friend of ours down in Dominicus, he invited us over for dinner, and he was making ceviche. He got the conch from the fisherman off the beach that comes to Dominicus. So he got like fresh conch from the fisherman, and then does this thing with the conch. He cuts it all up, like he cooks it in the lemon juice for a couple of days or a day, or I don't know, however long it was. And then he made this like homemade ceviche and had us over for this. I never knew anything about it. And then all of a sudden I'm going to restaurants and I'm seeing ceviche. People are talking about ceviche, and like, there's gotta be something like, what is that called when all of a sudden you just start hearing this word all the time? So there's things like that, but that was interesting. So now I know what ceviche is, and I had it. I'm not really crazy about ceviche. It's just not really to my taste, but
I'll tell Braz what it is.
But ceviche. Okay, so there we go. I'm not the only one who doesn't know what ceviche is. It's like ceviche is like
Cold dish.
It's a cold dish, and it's like
Fish.
the meat which is generally fish, but they'll use like lobster or conch or anything, and the meat is cooked in lemon juice,
marinated in citrus.
Marinated in citrus. But it's like the acid is what like actually cooks the fish, and I think it's done like over 24 to 48 hours. And then like you can put anything in it. You can put like vegetables in it, or like lime juice, and then you like maybe shred some carrot in there, or cilantro. So yeah, it's just like this. I think it's like just like a cold fish dish.
Kind of like salad-ish.
Yeah, it's like kind of like salad, like maybe like a coleslaw, but not really like a coleslaw, but maybe something like that.
Very like soury. There's a lot of flavor to it.
Sour. It's
good. I liked it.
Yeah, Lauren loves it.
Very fresh.
It was very fresh. Yes, it was. Yeah, it was very fresh.
But I didn't trust it at the all-inclusive because
No.
It was just sitting. That's all.
Yeah. And I mean, and Curtis, who had us over for dinner, I don't think he may never see this, but if he does, but it was fantastic. Like, I mean, the amount of work that went into it, like it's one of these dishes where you have to make it over time. But yeah, I've never had it before, and I'm kind of actually a picky eater. I'm actually a pretty plain eater. So I just know right away those things I'm probably not going to like. I'm pretty simple when my palate is very simple, actually. It's gotten a little bit better as I gotten older, but so something like that, I'm not really into it. But that's ceviche. The other thing we do too is we bring antibiotics with us. So I was trying to get Lauren to look up the product that we use, but it's actually, we get it from our doctor, and it's prescribed. And it works really good. It's a pill. I think you take one, erythromycin, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. This is not any kind of medical advice. But basically, we went to our doctor. We got it from the travel doctor when we first decided to go to the Dominican Republic for long term, 3 months. We went in there, and she said, I recommend you take this with you. So if you guys get like a pretty serious stomach issue, take this right away. And I know last year it was 1 pill per day for 3 days. So it's a pretty strong antibiotic, and it's like a pill, you swallow it, you take it. Last year, all 3 of us used it. I don't think it was because of food. I think it was actually an airborne virus that we got, but all of us got it. I think Lauren got it first.
Remember the first year?
Yeah. So Lauren got sick the first year.
From the yogurt.
The whole milk, I think.
The whole milk.
Yeah. So we went grocery shopping, and this was our first year doing long term in the DR, and we were buying milk, and we bought whole milk instead of like
Skim.
instead of like skim milk, because we didn't know what it was called. And so I guess Lauren was putting that in her coffee, and I think that like upset her stomach because me and River weren't drinking it. So she used her antibiotics the first year. Me and River didn't use it at all. We went home with both of our doses. We go with 2 doses, with 2 treatments we go with. Last year, we all used our dose. And I think it was probably a virus or something, but it lasted, I think, about 24 hours or 48 hours, but it was brutal. Like, I've never had a stomach thing like that before. But it was terrible. We met this couple from BC with 2 little boys, and we were actually in the town of Bayahibe, and that's when like Lauren had it, I think like a day before or 2 days before. And then we were going there in the morning, and I was like walking, and I'm like, oh, my stomach kind of started to feel bad. And then like as we were going through Bayahibe, I was like, okay, I have to go home. I had the sweats, and I was like, I am sick. And then that night it was brutal. So, and I'm not big on taking medications. And that night I'm like, give me one of those antibiotics. Like, I need it. And I was like putting water down. I was having like, I think it was a bad one. So we all used it. I took it, and then I don't know, maybe it helped. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it was a virus, but I don't know. 24 hours later though, I was like back to normal again. And then I finished the antibiotics. So that's what we were told.
I felt like everyone started getting sick. They got sick.
Yeah, I think it was. And then they were sick too. They were actually sick before us.
Yeah.
The BC couple, which is Holly and Angus, if you guys are watching, hello. But yeah, they had it, and then I got it. Lauren got it, I got it, and then River got it. And when River got it, we gave her the medicine right away too. So she used her antibiotic, and then hers wrapped up pretty quick too. It was like within 24 hours. So there's this medicine that I would suggest taking with you. I think it's good to have in your back pocket in case something like this happens. You know, you've got that antibiotic, and then talk to your doctor about it. Whatever, I'm going to be traveling, and is there some sort of is there some kind of antibiotic that I can take that will help me, you know, if things get out of hand? That's what I would suggest doing. Now, if you need help in the DR, say you get sick down there, call 911. Okay. That's the best thing to do. If someone's sick or someone needs help, you know, just call 911. It works the same way there as it does here. And I think a lot of us think that, you know, when you go to a resort, you're inside this compound and it's complete chaos on the other side of these walls, and you feel trapped and alone. And I know what that feels like, because we had a situation, and I'm actually deciding on whether I make a video about this or not. But we had a situation happen to us like that at a resort before we started leaving the resorts. And we had like a medical emergency that we had to take care of. And, you know, you feel like, what do I do? You know, you feel like you're at the mercy of the resort workers. Like, what do we do? The doctor on site or whatever, you know. That's not how it works at all. It's just like here. It's just a hotel. And on the other side of the walls, there's a fire department, there's police, there's ambulance, there's hotels, there's dentists. You know, so there's people out there that will help you. You just have to make that call. And I wouldn't leave it up to the resorts to decide whether you need help or not, or who to call. Take that action yourself and make the phone call and get help. So a lot of us know the story probably about, you know, what happened to the Canadian family. And I mean, that's just tragic. You know, but I just wouldn't chance it. And that's when I go back to the medical insurance that we go with. Even if we're going for 7 days, I'm taking travel insurance. I always have travel insurance. And you know what the funny thing is, every year we end up using it for something. So yeah, just medication, right? Like last year I had an ear infection and it got like way out of control. Like I had to go get like an antibiotic, and I knew that. So I went to the doctor, and we were at a resort at that time. So I'm like, I just went up to the resort doctor. I'm like, okay, I'm in here. I'll just go there. I know I need an antibiotic. I'll go in there. And I took my card up, and I've used it enough. We use Manulife. So I've used it already like 3 times beforehand. So I know how to do it, right? So I just call on the doctor's phone. Yeah, call Manulife. It's really easy. Give them the policy number. And it's like 5 minutes later, they're like, okay, come on in. We're gonna do everything we need to do. That being said, though, like if you ever get in a situation like that, just be aware that like they'll take this as an opportunity. So I went in, I had an ear infection, and I knew it. It was going like right down into my neck, and I was like, I just need an antibiotic. I went in. They wanted to give me something for my stomach to like battle the antibiotic because it was going to make my stomach sick.
Nauseous, yeah.
Going to make me nauseous. Then they wanted to give me the antibiotic. Then they wanted to give me a needle, give me a shot of, I forget what it was, even like what the needle was, but it was to help the inflammation, I guess. So she wanted to give me. There was like something else. There was like 4 things she wanted to do to solve the earache, and I'm like, no. I'll just take the antibiotics and I'll be on my way. Right. Cause to them it's money, right? You're walking through the door and like they can charge for all of it. Right. So there's probably $400 for the needle, $300 for that, $200 for that. Right. So if I only take the antibiotics, I took all the medication except the needle. I'm like, here, yeah, give me all the medication. I don't care. Right. I took the medication and she's like, here you go. And then I just didn't take it. I just took the antibiotics and that was it. But I would just know that too. Like when you go into the doctor there, like they make money off of what they can do if you're going in with a healthcare plan. So I would just be diligent with that and just remember that, you know, they're trying to make profit too. And I don't know. I don't want to take some strange needle I've ever had and see how that works out while I'm in a foreign country. You know, I'll just take the antibiotics and be on my way. And then like 2 days later, it was like pretty much gone and feeling better again. Right. So,
but that's just you. That's your preference.
Yeah. That's my preference too. Right. Like, but I'm just saying like, just know that I think their motives could be to make money. Right. Maybe not your health and is maybe first and foremost. It should be. And I'm not saying it isn't, but I would just, if it's an opportunity to make money, they may just kind of overdo things that maybe you don't need. That's just who I am. And I have nothing against needles and vaccines or whatever, but it's just, you know, I just knew, I felt like I've never had a doctor in Canada tell me I need to take a needle for inflammation ever in my life. So that was just weird to me and that didn't seem right. So I'm like, I'm not going to try it here.
And it's
right.
Okay to say no.
And it's okay to say no. Yeah, exactly right. Like, you know, and that's where I go back to the beginning when I was talking about like, you're your best protection and all this stuff. Like just be diligent and just kind of, you know, take everything with a grain of salt and just think for yourself. And if something's out of the ordinary, it probably is out of the ordinary. That's just how I look at it. But I just thought that was interesting. That's the first time and that's only happened to me once. And it was inside a resort. It wasn't outside the resort. So the year prior to that, I also had another infection. And I get antibiotics. I know it sounds like I get a lot of infection, right? But no, so I had to go into Dominicus and I knew I had an infection and it was in my ear again. And I went in and she's just like, yeah, you've got an ear infection. And we did the Manulife thing again, called it in, blah, blah, blah. She's like, yeah, you need this. It was $80 US. And then she's like, that's it. That's all you need. So then I had to hop on a motorcycle. And then it's funny because I went to the dog shop and then she says, this guy's going to take you to go get your medicine. So I hopped on the back of this motorcycle and that was the first like motorcycle ride I had in the DR. And then this guy, like there was no class or anything. It was just like, hold on, buddy, we're going. Like you see the way the Dominicans drive down there, like all of a sudden I'm like holding on to this motorcycle for like, holy cow, no helmet or anything. And buddy's just beelining all around everybody. I get over to the pharmacist. I get my medication. I pay for it. And I walk out there and buddy's like, come on, let's go. We're going. He's going to take me back to the doctor's office. I said, no, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I'm good. I'll walk from here. But yeah, so that was inside the resort. And then she wanted to give me this needle and all this extra stuff. So I don't know, just just think about that. I guess if you ever come across something like that, you know.
We have a question here about who we use and the best travel insurance.
Who do you think is the best one to travel insurance from? So the worst food review channel. Hey, this is Dave, right? Dave from London. How's it going, Dave? Good to see you on the live here. I follow Dave on Instagram or YouTube, and he does food reviews in London, Ontario. Check this guy out. It's hilarious what he does. But yeah, he goes around to all these different places and he pumps out the content. Dave, I gotta say, man, I love how much content you put out. You're constantly filming. So yeah, check that guy out. Check out Dave. It's the worst food review channel. He's out of London, Ontario. Who do I use for travel insurance? We use Manulife. We're Canadian. I know, Dave, I know you're Canadian as well. And I use Manulife. I know it works. I know
TD at one point it didn't
we
work.
use, yeah. So I won't say the bank name, but we did use a bank once because we're like, yeah, we have travel insurance. So we used the bank insurance and it didn't work. Like it didn't work at all. So
Manulife has always been there.
Manulife, it just works every time. Every time Manulife works, and we've had to use it. I know for sure, like, well, every year we end up using it for something. So I probably spend I spend more than what the healthcare costs, except at that all-inclusive resort. Like, I think it was close to, like, she was billing big time. I think it was like $900 or $800. Like the bill was like, holy cow. Like in Dominicus, and like, she's telling me what because you know what it's going to cost. Like, holy cow. I'm like, and I told her, I said, I stay in La Romana. Like, this is like $80 for me to get this medicine. Right. And she's like, no, not. So, you know, I think like the resorts just try to make money off you. Right. But we never, except for that resort visit, because it was just, the price was inflated so much, just throwing me every medication off the shelf, it felt like. But like $80 was 1 year. Like, so probably I spend more in travel insurance than what we use. I think for like the three of us for 3 months, it's like $700 or $800. But that like covers everything. That's like, if we need to get helicopter vac off the island to somewhere and then fly to wherever to get immediate help, like it covers everything. It's like a ridiculous amount. So it's just nice to have that. It's nice to know that, you know, if something goes wrong, you're like, you know, you're taken care of. And Manulife is just quick. It's like, it happens. Like I literally call, I go into the doctor's office, I call, and it's like 5 minutes later, the doctor's like, okay, anything you need. Until that gets cleared, they're not going to say anything to you. They're not going to do anything or until you pay them. So if you don't have health insurance, just have cash. That's it.
And if you have health insurance and you pay, they reimburse you.
Yeah. So that's the other thing too. So that's what I do now. So like last year when I had to get the antibiotics, I went into the pharmacy and I just paid Visa for the medication. Was $80. And then when we got home, we sorted it out. I sent him my receipt, and Manulife sent us a check for like $80. So it's good that way. Like, if sometimes it might just be easier to pay. Like if it's something like that, you might just say like, okay, well, you don't need to put the phone call through, just pay and settle up with Manulife when you get home. I mean, it's like 2 or 3 days later, they pay it out. So,
and it goes into your account too sometimes. And that's kind of another funny part about that story is when I went into the pharmacy to pay, because when she gave me the thing and it said $80 USD on it. And then when I went over to the pharmacy, then I go in, it's like this other store and this other guy's in there, and I give him the ticket, like for this is the medication I need and this is the price. And then when he gave me the thing back, it said 80 euros. It wasn't USD. And I looked at it, I saw it right away. I'm like, okay,
he's charging me euros. He's making a few extra bucks off it, but I'm like, I don't even care, man. I just want the antibiotics. 80 euros, sure, let's do it. I'm getting the money back anyways. Like, I don't even care. Like, okay, whatever. This is what it is. This is what it is. I'm not going to argue with the guy about, hey, no, it's supposed to be USD for $15 a difference or whatever it was, or however much it turns out. So, but no. And then when I submitted that receipt to Manulife, I put it in as 80 euros and they did the conversion. It came back, whatever, like 100 and something dollars Canadian, and they paid it out. And there's no questions at all. We used it one time as well. Lauren had to go off resort to a hospital in Punta Cana, and they paid the taxis, everything.
The phone bills too.
The phone bills. So I was on the phone calling back to Canada, trying to get a hold of our doctor. I know everyone's wondering what happened. Yeah. So I don't know if I want to. I don't know if we want to. It's not that huge of a deal, really. But it was interesting, anyways. But story for another day. But anyways, they paid for my phone bills to call home, the taxi, and like this guy that I use this taxi as a private transfer from Punta Cana to the resort. And then I called him up because I had him on WhatsApp. I'm like, hey, I need a taxi right now. He's like, okay. He's like, I'm on my way. We're gonna pick you up. And then took River in and brought Lauren in and brought her back. So I don't know. It's great. I wouldn't go anywhere without it. Honestly, I think it's worth every penny. Well, it's maybe not worth every penny because we haven't used every penny of it, but it's good peace of mind.
Yeah.
But Manulife, if you're Canadian, I highly recommend Manulife because I know it works. Like, it just works every time. And it's just more widely accepted as well, Manulife. And the nice thing about Manulife is when I went into Dominicus last year to get the antibiotics, she looked at it and she says, I don't take this, right? She says, you have to go to Bayahibe if you want to use this. She says, I don't use this one. She only uses there's health insurance you can get too that are Dominican Republic health insurance, which works just as well too. It's only going to help you in the Dominican Republic though. She says, I don't take this, but I said, it's okay. I already knew how Manulife worked. It's like, it's fine. Don't worry. I'll just pay it and then I'll get reimbursed for it. So that's the nice thing about Manulife too. You don't have to go to a specific hotel or a doctor or whatever has to accept this. You can go anywhere you need to go and keep your receipts and they'll reimburse you. And literally the receipt I had was what she wrote on her little piece of paper in Dominicus and wrote the 80 USD. But then I had the receipt from the machine that said 80 euros. And I submitted that, took pictures of it, submitted it, and they paid me. No questions asked.
Phone bill. We highlighted
the phone bill. So all my calls from the Dominican Republic, and it was expensive. It was like $600 or $300. I mean, it was a lot of money. So if you're going to the DR and you're Canadian, expect, and you're like Bell or you're Rogers, expect to have no phone whatsoever. It's terrible. I wish that Bell Canada and Rogers would figure out something to, okay, well, if you're doing a week, okay, it's not that bad. It's what is it, $16 a day or something if you want to use your phone down there. Okay, 7 days or 10 days or whatever. 2 weeks even, that's not too bad. But if you're doing long term, it's just crazy. So what we do is we use these cards. We actually go down and we pull out our SIM cards and we get Dominican Republic SIM cards and put them in our phone. And then you have to it's kind of a pain, really. And then you have to put in all these numbers on the back of the card. And sometimes they'll sell you bad cards. So I had this guy show me this Dominican. He's like, don't pay yet. Put your card in first and make sure the code works, right? Because then what they do, they have these machines and this piece of paper comes out. And then you have to put this in with the card. Well, sometimes that the card isn't sometimes there could be a little trick there, right? And then you'll buy these cards and they don't work, right? So it can be kind of a hassle. This year, we're going to use something different. So we have internet the whole time that we're down there. Because really, basically, we do is we run off Wi-Fi. When we're at Catechus, where we're staying, in our condo around the resort, we have Wi-Fi. But when I go out and about, I don't have Wi-Fi, right? So unless I have one of these cards in, and it can be kind of a pain you got to go into town and get, the card put in, and they only last for 6 days. That's the weird thing too. It's not expensive sometimes. Yeah. And then sometimes it'll last for 2 weeks. Like, I'll say to Lauren, like, my card's still working. I'm like, I don't know why this thing's still working. So it's just very unreliable. This year, there's a company that we found, and I forget what they're called. It starts with an A. Yeah, something. Anyways, I've seen
or the BC couple.
Yeah, the BC couple told us about it first, Holly and Angus, and that's what they use. And I mean, and they go everywhere. They go, like, I don't know, backpacking through Peru and all this stuff. So they're like, this is what we use. And then we looked into it, and it's actually Arilo. Okay, so I'm going to be doing it. It's an eSIM. Yeah. So this is new. Technology is wonderful. But I'm going to be using that this year. And then I'm going to add this into my videos, like how easy this is to use. But I think this is going to be like our new solution, because the cards that you get from the stores are just a pain in the butt, and they're very unreliable. So we'll see how the eSIM goes. Dave says, I see these virtual SIM cards sometimes.
Yeah, that's what Arilo is.
Yeah, Arilo eSIMs. Yeah, we will try that this year. Yeah, so we're going to see how that works, and try that out. And I think it seems to be like more of an affordable option. But like, if you're doing long term in the DR and you've got to pay like $16 a day, I don't know. I was just like, I'm not going to pay that. But then we have friends like Ann and Mike from Ottawa, and she's like, oh, I got internet everywhere.
Who's she with?
Yeah, but she's with is it? I don't know who it is. Is it TELUS or Horizon or something Wind, like, or I don't know what they are. But there's some provider somewhere in Canada where whatever provider she's using, it works. I think she has to pay a little bit more. But if you're American, I mean, you go down there, this is not an issue for you at all. Like, right. So there's Americans watching this, that it's just not an issue. You guys get phone service just like regular all over the DR, which I'm so jealous of. I don't know why we can't figure that out, but I wish we could, because it'd make things a lot easier. So Dave says, I'm going to Europe. I have this Rome like at home. I'm going to have to investigate it more. Yeah. So, So, I mean, I would check out this, what Lauren put it there in the comments, the Arilo or whatever, but it's supposed to be really good. I see a lot of travel people using this. And
you keep your own phone number and you just add.
Yeah, you keep your own phone number, everything. Like, it's supposed to be really slick. So I don't know. I'm going to try that this year, see how it goes. And I want to do a lot of live streaming when I'm down there this year. So I want to walk through Bayahibe. I want to walk through Dominicus. I want to show all these different places. I'd love to take the bus from Dominicus all the way into the city of La Romana, like the public bus that goes through all the villages and everything. And then like hop out into the city and show the city and how crazy it is, and the way the cars are just everywhere. And so I want to do a lot of streaming like that this year. So I need something that's reliable, and that's why I want to use this Arilo, the eSIM, and it'd just be nice. Last year, when I started doing live streaming in the DR, I didn't really have a clear understanding of live streaming yet, and what I should be doing, what I should be using it for. But I could only stay within Dominicus, so I could only stay on the beach. If I went, because that's where our Wi-Fi is. It's all everywhere. But if I couldn't leave the resort and stream reliably. So I'm looking forward to doing that this year. But yeah, so I'm probably. Braz.
He asked a while ago about any tips at the Punta Cana airport. Any Punta Cana airport tips?
Any Punta Cana airport tips? Okay. Well, I think it's like, so any tips that I would have, I don't know. I don't really hang around there long enough to really have, I think, any advice. All I would say is, like, when you're going to get off the plane, or like when you're going to get through customs and everything, security, you're going to go to like pick up your bags. Like when you're in Pearson, you're kind of still like you're still behind, you're still in security. Like, you still have to go through another security check. Like, you get your bags and then you go through like one more time. like in the DR, it's like when you get to that point where you're getting your bags, it's I feel like that doesn't happen anymore.
The last time we didn't get checked again.
Yeah, because like what happens is you're gonna have guys that are gonna come up and they're gonna be like they're gonna have like this uniform on and they're gonna have the carts. So luggage carts, they're gonna come up and just be like, hey, they're gonna like take your luggage for you, and they're gonna want money to like take your bags for you. It's like $20 US.
And it begins.
Yeah, that's where it starts. Yeah, cha-ching. But they'll want to like grab your bags for you. And hey, you know what?
Go for it.
Yeah, why not? Right? I mean, that's nice. And they're gonna do it, man. They're gonna pick your bags. If you're gonna wheel, they're gonna take you right to your bus or your private transfer, whatever you're doing. Me, myself, I like to just get my own bags and do it myself. So there's that. Like, there's going to be those guys are going to come up, and it looks like they have uniforms and everything. You're going to think, oh, this is just how it works here. This is the airport guys, but they're not. They're just guys there to try and make some money, which is fine. And you know what? Heck, why not? Right? Use it if you want to use it. I don't. So you're going to see that. Money, you can exchange your money there. I never have. I always exchange it when I get into Dominicus. But I hear that the prices are pretty high in there. I think this year I'll go through and I might exchange $100 and just see like what they give me so I can actually verify what the exchange rate is in there. And but apparently it's pretty brutal in the airport. So most people suggest don't exchange your money there. You're basically going to get you're going to get your luggage. You're going to kind of walk, and then you're going to come around a corner, and then it'll start to open up, and you'll see some different excursions, blah, blah, blah. This is where you're going to find your guys there, Air Transat, Sunwing, Air Canada. Those reps are going to be standing there, and they got their clipboards to get you onto your bus. Or if you're taking private transfer, you're just going to keep walking your way out. It's just there's only one way to go, so it's easy. And then you're going to come down this little ramp, and then there's just going to be this like wall, and then there's just going to be a ton of people standing there, and it's everybody holding signs. And then just look for your name. If you have a private transfer, your guy is going to be somewhere in that lineup. But they're all hanging out the corner, and there's going to be guys there trying to sell you taxi rides too. So that's the thing about Punta Cana. You know, people ask me like, hey, what's a good taxi service to use, or what taxi? You know what? Like literally, you could show up at Punta Cana at any time, and there's going to be 30 taxis like yelling at you to hop into their taxi. So you never have to worry about getting a ride there. But I would pre-plan it and hook something up prior to that. But yeah, other than that, like there is also a VIP like express lane through the Punta Cana airport. So I thought about trying that just to check it out, but I think like on arrival it's $100, and on departures it's like 20 or something. But it's basically like you just basically, instead of going through the lineups and everything, like, you know, sometimes you know what it's like, right? There's like 300, 400, 500 people in front of you, and everyone's trying to funnel through customs. Like this is like this guy like meets you when you get off the plane, and you go through a whole different area, and it's like there's a lady there. It's all like nicely done, and then like she just checks you through quick, off you go, get your bags. Like apparently it's really slick, and they have that at the Punta Cana airport. And I think on departures too, when you do it when you leave, you also get access to this lounge, and there's a pool there as well. So yeah, it's like a VIP like express lane through the airport. But yeah, and then they've got a pool, and it's like right on the runway.
Oh, I have seen that.
Yeah. So I thought that might be kind of cool to check out this year. It costs a few bucks, but you know, especially if you're like, if you know you've got that like late night flight, you know, and you just want to bomb through security and get to your resort. I mean, that's a fantastic option, right? Like, and that's the thing. If you're doing like a week to 2 weeks, you know, this stuff's important, and it's important for me too. Like I want to get to my resort, and like as soon as you wake up that morning, you're spending your money. Like your money is being spent, right? So you got to get all the way down to that resort, but you've paid for that day, right? So, you know, by the time you land in Punta Cana, you're like, get me to that resort, right? Like you paid for that day. You want to get as much out of that day as you can. I get it. So get around that line. Like if you could even do like VIP and then a private transfer, boom, 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 boom. You're off into your resort. It'll cost you a few extra bucks, but if you're doing a week to 2 weeks, I mean, what's an extra $200-300? And I mean, you beat the line of traffic. You're not following the traffic through customs. Then you're getting to your resort, following traffic through there again. Like, just get right through it. And that's what, like, when we used to do all inclusive, that's what we would do too. Private transfer and off we go.
I think another thing to remember too is when you get into Punta Cana, you get off on the runway and then you get on a bus and they take you. Remember? They take you on that little bus to go to the.
Yeah. So you get off your plane and there is a bus, and you'll get on the bus and it'll take you to the airport. When you leave as well too, they're gonna take you out onto the tarmac, and you'll have your carry-on bags with you, and then they'll tell you to put them on the ground in front of you, and you stand behind them, and they'll walk the dogs by. So they do that too. I think that's happened to us every time we've left Punta Cana. Yeah. So there's that'll happen. And then after the dog walks by, then everybody gets on the bus again, and they'll take you to your plane. But I don't know. I feel like Punta Cana is like a pretty quick airport. Like Pearson's far longer than Punta Cana. Punta Cana is pretty straightforward. But
just make sure you have your e-ticket.
Yeah, make sure you have your e-ticket filled out, right? That's a big one. And great tip for doing your e-ticket is fill out your return when you're doing your enter. Did I say that right? Enter, arrival, and departure. So when you're doing your e-ticket, do your departure at the same time. It's so much easier than trying to fill it out. I remember like being like, oh no, I'll do it, I'll do it before we leave when we get down there. And then it's like, we're sitting in the lobby, like the bus is coming, like, oh my God, I'm running out of Wi-Fi. I got to get this e-ticket done. Oh my God, we don't have this e-ticket done. So now I just do it. Like even at 3 months stay, I do my e-ticket for our return when I do the enter. So like, I don't even have to, like 3 months later, I don't even have to worry about it. I just get it done before we go and it's done. Bra says, is the VIP per person or your group? I'm not too sure, actually. I'm not too sure, but I'm going to probably guess that it's per person. It probably is. It's probably, and I've heard some people say it's 100. I've heard some people say it's like 120. But I'm not too sure. And I know like someone, I don't know if there's different levels of it or what yet. I haven't looked into it enough yet. So I don't know. But I'm going to start researching that and finding out more about it. But one's cheaper than the other. And I don't know if it's arrival or departure. And I could be wrong about that too. It could be the same price. I'm just hearing people say different prices. But I'm going to assume that it's probably per person. Yeah. To get you through, because you get a lounge too, right? And they have like food and drinks and stuff like that in there, and you get the pool. So I'm definitely probably 100 per person. Yeah.
This probably wouldn't apply to everybody, but for us, we have to pay on our way out.
Yes. Yeah. And then when we leave too, we have to pay a tax when we leave. So, because we overstay our visa while we're there. So you get 30 days in the Dominican Republic for free. That's your visa, like your travel visa. And then after that, we have to pay when we leave. So if you're going to the DR long term, and it's a pretty slick system too. Right when you start going through, when they're stamping your passports there's a little kiosk, and everybody that goes to the Dominican, you can look at this and you'll see the kiosk as well, because it's going to be right there, right beside you. And you'll see, it'll say 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, and then 1 year, 2 year, all the way up to 10 years. So if you're Canadian and you stay in the Dominican Republic for 10 years and you do not leave, you do not have to pay tax anymore when you leave, because you are a citizen. So if you ever want to become a citizen of the DR, all you have to do is go there and stay for 10 years, and automatically you're a resident. But we have to pay a tax when we leave. So we're always in the 0 to 3 month. And I thought last year we might actually be in the 3 to 6, because we stayed like, I don't know, it was like 90 something days. Like I thought we were just like 3 days or 2 or 3 days past 3 months, but it still fell in the 0 to 3. But yeah, it costs us about like, I don't know, $250 Canadian for us to leave the DR after 3 months. And that's for the 3 of us.
And we don't have to fill out a visa or anything like that.
And we don't have to fill out a visa. That's how like the DR does it. And I just kind of look at it this way. They're just saying like, I actually, the first time we were going to stay in the DR long term, I actually emailed the embassy and asked them like, do I need, because I was getting different reports. People like, oh no, you don't need the visa. Yes, you need the visa. You should have the visa. So I emailed them directly and asked them, I said, this is how long I'm going to be in the country. Do I need to fill out this visa, this process? Because when you start reading it, it's like a whole ordeal, it's like a lot of paperwork and a lot of time. I'm like, do I really need to do this? They emailed me back, and all they said was, every Canadian is welcome in the Dominican Republic. That was it. That was the response. That every Canadian is welcome in the Dominican Republic. Straight from the embassy. That was the email I received back. And I was like, okay, you know what? And I think I even had a copy of the email, like took a copy of it or whatever, or had it in my inbox, like just so I could always reference it if there was ever an issue. And I could just say like, hey, I don't know, this is what the embassy told me, right? But yeah, now that I know, like, so they have a visa program that I think it's there. Maybe other countries have to fill it out. But for Canadians, we don't have to fill it out. So maybe if you're coming from somewhere else, you do. But in Canada, you just have to pay a tax when you leave. If you overstay the 30 days, you just got to pay before you leave. So I guess rather than them hire people to manage all these visas and all this paperwork, what they're doing is say, let's just charge a tax. Let's make money instead of spend money, right? So that's what they do. I love it. I think it works great. And it's super easy to stay long-term in the DR if anyone's thinking of doing that. Thank you both. Look forward to the next one. I saved some questions, and I'm sure I'll think of more. Sounds good. Sounds good, Braz. Thanks for tuning in. And I think that's probably going to wrap up our live for tonight too. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And thanks for the questions, Braz. And Dave, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by, Dave. I look forward to more of those food reviews. And hey, maybe I'll see you around London sometime. So I'm pretty close to London as well too. So I recognize a lot of the places you go to. So, and I'm actually watching your channel because I want to find some of these like man versus food places around here sometime. So that's cool. Yeah, thanks everybody for watching the live stream. I'm glad we were able to answer some questions and get excited for the travel season. Everyone's getting ready to go on. Yeah, it's gonna be a good winter, and I know a lot of you people watching have trips coming up too. So I'm excited for you guys and getting down there and having some fun. So, all right, guys. Have a good one, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks again, everybody. Take care.